So let's dive down sound.
Yeah, well, I mean, the retreat I just went to was in Costa Rica. I was invited there, and it's for a new music production company. They are effectively going to be the Spotify like spiritual music, guided meditations and binaural beats and things of that nature. Um, I'm not sure how much I can talk about it, but effectively there was a live concert every night with just incredible musicians. And on Friday night was like literally mind blowing. It was Estas. I don't remember his last name, but this Ukrainian guitar player, his name is Estas, and he just, I mean, it was mystical, it was transcendent, and so sound therapy, yeah, is very, very, very important. And like, I mean, there's also like my own just personal experience of traveling, like when I was in Turkey or when I was in Egypt, and they have the mosque and they start singing at like 4 or 5 a.m. I love that. It's like so beautiful. And or in Europe, they have all the church bells ringing all the time. Like you may be at your apartment or somewhere and you're working a little bit, all of a sudden the church bells start going off. And I just find it so pleasing in a very just like nice, happy, kind of like just innocent way, just like, oh, this feels so good. And I wouldn't say we have less sound now. I would just say our soundscapes in general are different. For example, we talk about these microtremors like cars, they create sound. I mean, obviously the honking and stuff, but they also create these very low frequency sounds that we can't hear because anything below 20 hertz, our brain is like processes out. And I think it's less because of the frequency of the wave. I mean, we have these structures, these hairs. We have these hairs in our cochlea within our ear. So these little tiny structures, and they wave back and forth in the eardrum, and well, beyond the eardrum. And that waving then causes them to do neurotransmitter spikes, which then creates basically brain waves of the same frequency that travel down the auditory stem. So these things are just basically moving the vibration. Why wouldn't they be also moving to vibrations below 20 hertz? There's no reason why they wouldn't. It's more likely that we don't hear those sounds because if we did, we'd probably go mad. There's probably so much, like, I really want to measure this now that I've had this idea. There's probably so much sub 20 hertz noise in our environment that if we heard it, it'd be deafening. So our brain just processes it out, just puts a filter on those frequencies. And it's like, nope, we're not going to let you hear that. But when I did all these passive seismic surveys, for example, that measures from like 0 to 50 hertz on average, sometimes a little higher, depends on the equipment. Cars make a lot of noise in like the 10 to 25 hertz range. Very noisy, and it's not coherent noise. And that's kind of what you're getting to, and what your wife was really like, she understood, it sounds like, is that these singing bowls that for the different chakras, or is the energy coherent? Does it have these nice sound waves? Do they all like combine together harmoniously? Or are they clashing? Are they chaotic? Are they deconstructing? Are they creating these big volatile changes? It's quiet and it's loud the next second, and that's a non-coherent, discordant energy. And so there's no rhyme or reason to cars. There's no rhyme or reason to all the things that make noise in cities, for example. So there's plenty of noise, but it's not coherent noise. And I think that's what's important. And when I was collecting the seismic data, if I was near a road or like the highway or something, the seismic data and my ability to like quantify the subsurface geology was greatly diminished. You get these color plots and you want these nice curves, and they'd be kind of shaky and you have to kind of like figure it out, and you can get the data, but it's not that good. When I went to sites where it was nice and quiet, far away from everything, and especially if there was tall trees and the wind was blowing, then you get these amazing data plots because they're putting in all these super low frequency waves and they're all coherent because the trees are all waving together at the same time. And I had these beautiful plots. And my mentor was like, I've never seen data this good before. And I mean, he's a very good geophysicist. I'm a little bit of a hippie. So I was like, of course, I want to go to these natural places. I was also experimenting with like meditation and how that was changing. Like my meditation at the spots is changing the frequencies of the environment. And one of the meditations I did, it spiked the 1 hertz wave, which is the same frequency at 60 beats per minute. So those energies are really important. We don't hear a lot of them, but they exist. And I think in general, there's less coherent energy in certain places of the planet, and then certain places the natural coherent energies exist, and then other places where we have the technology, like Tibetan music technology. You call it technology, for example, of building coherence. And this retreat I went to, all the sound healings. And yeah, vibing straight out of source. Exactly. Like when you have good music, it just takes you so far up. It's so valuable and so important, I think, for maintaining good health. And yeah, you could boil it down to just what are the vibrations that you're experiencing. Is it full body? Is it just here?